is swung on and hit into right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Blaze Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Sure left power, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps on the back for one out, throws to first, it is in time, a double play.
Pitch, breaking ball lifted deep to center field, and it is gone! A two-run shot for Cody Hosey.
A high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. P.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here's play-by-play broadcaster Stephen Huff.
Just a day after the All-Star game, Newport looks to open up the final week of the regular season with a game that was suspended a week ago today. It's the Newport Gulls and Ocean State Waves here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In the game that was suspended a week ago today, both teams opened up the scoring early as the Waves scored 3 runs in the first inning, but the Gulls answered back with 6 runs of their own in the home half of the inning as they batted around the lineup. The Waves then would respond with 4 runs as they hit one in the third inning and 3 runs in the fourth to carry a 7-6 lead into the 5th inning. It was then in the 5th inning that storms hit the island, causing the game to be suspended. Now, since the game was called off in the 5th inning and not after the 5th inning, the game was suspended, and we will pick it up where we left off with that 7-6 scoreline here tonight. Since that game on Monday, Newport is one of the hottest teams in the NECBL as they won 5 of their last 6 games heading into Saturday night's action against the Sanford Mainers. The Mainers, though, halted the Gulls, taking down Newport by a score of 5-1. Ocean State comes into this one, though, the hottest team in the NECBL, winning 8 of their last 10 games. Next up here is the highlight reel from that last Monday's action between the Gulls and Waves here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 0-1's going to be lined down the left field line. They're going to send Garrett Hodges around third. He's going to trot in. It's going to roll all the way to the wall in the left field corner. Coming around is Vargas from third, all the way from first, and he's going to score a 2 RBI double for Elijah Dunham to give Ocean State an early 2-0 lead. With you in the booth, as this one is going to be blasted into right field. Going back is Vosick, and he's not going to get there, and he's slipping. Coming around to score is Elijah Dunham on that 2-out RBI single from Dylan Morton. This 2-1 Hamilton blast into right field, and that ball is out of here. So Hamilton gets the better half of his old roommate, hitting a 3-run shot to tie this one up.
That was just a great piece of hitting there by Chris Hamilton. He got a fastball. He smiles around third base, gives Sam Turcotte a little smile, and it's a great piece of hitting, and it ties the game for the Gulls.
Now they're going to throw over to first, and it's going to get away from Vargas. An errant throw from Turcotte. Coming in to score for Newport is Jones, and going all the way to third on the play is Austin James. Now Sawyer on the 1-2. Holzwasser's going to line right back up the middle, and that will score 1 easily for Newport. Coming around is Tours. He's going to score, and heading to third on the play is Cavalieri. Moving up on the throw to third is Scott Holzwasser to second. 1-2, Vargas swinging and a fastball up and away for strike 3. A second now. First pitch swinging is Osberg. He's going to ground it into shallow right past the diving Holzwasser. That scores 1 easily for the Waves. They're going to put up the brakes at third.
Well, we see it again. It's ripped hard through the 3-4 hole. Joe Simone will be around to score, and the Waves cut the lead to just 1 here by a no-out single by Garrett Hodges. That is driven into right field. That ball is down for a hit. Garrett Hodges scores. It's in the corner. Elijah Dunham is around first. He is into second base, standing up Xavier Vargas at third. Elijah Dunham continues his red hotness with his 3rd double of the day. Kicks, delivers a broken bat, fielded by Justin Henry Malloy. Looks at home, throws to first. A close play, and Dana is out at first, but the Waves take the lead, 7-6 on a ground out by Casey Dana. Looks like they're gonna pull everybody off the field with the Lightning. So it's a half hour for every lightning strike. If the Lightning's within 8 miles and Scott Malloy deciding the Lightning is within 8 miles.
And so it looks like this game is going to be called for tonight.
Once again, here's Stephen Huff and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
It's take 2 for the final matchup between the Ocean State Waves and Newport Gulls in the Pell Bridge Series. How you doing, everybody? Stephen Huff alongside the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Tim Joyce, and the field reporter of the Newport Gulls, Nick Bello. As this game, it's going to be a resumed game of the game that was suspended a week ago from today. Of course, these two teams faced off in what we thought was going to be the final matchup of the Pell Bridge Series. And it was an exciting game that started off. Both teams scored early. Ocean State started off the game scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Then the Gulls responded with 6 runs of their own in the bottom half of the first as they batted around the lineup. Then the Waves responded, scoring 4 more runs, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, to carry a 7-6 lead into the 5th inning. And that's when we ran into some trouble. Tim brings it everywhere he goes, at least when he's with us. The storms hit the Aquidneck Island, and the game was suspended, and it was because we were in the 5th inning, not after the 5th inning, that the game was not official. It was suspended, and we are going to pick it up where we left off with that 7-6 score line, and it's going to be played right here today.
Yeah, Garrett Hudge is going to be up. Joe Simone's going to be at first here in the top of the 5th. No changes so far for the Waves. Corey Sawyer is going to come out for the bottom of the first inning, although I expect a lot of pinch hitting and some defensive changes. This is really an important game for the Waves to finish out.
Yeah, there will be some changes, and we'll get to those in a little bit, but a lot of it's going to remain the same. But since that game, the Gulls have had 5 games, and they've won 4 out of those 5. But the last time out, it was a tough loss for the Gulls. It was against the Sanford Mainers on Saturday, up in Maine for their first time. The Mainers beat the Gulls by a score of 5-1. It was an excellent outing for the Mainers starting pitcher, Matt Rudis. He went 7 innings pitched, didn't give up a run, and had 5 strikeouts. And he only gave up 4 hits on the day. He really sprayed the ball around for the Gulls. When they did get hits, he made sure to limit the damage, and then had 2 excellent pitchers behind him to limit the Gulls and made sure that they weren't able to get a comeback. But the Gulls still one of the hotter teams in the NECBL, but of course the Waves are the hottest team in the NECBL. 8 out of their last 10 have been wins for the Ocean State Waves.
Yeah, the Waves have just been hot. They went 1-2 in the 3 games after this. They lost to the Emory Westerners and the Upper Valley Nighthawks, but they really put a beating on the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. And coming into this game, they were on a 6-game win streak. They would have made it 7 had they score held, but it is like you said, the Waves are just hot. The pitching is there. The offense is there. You can't ask for much more if you're a Waves fan.
So if we are looking at tonight's lineup, we are going to have, looks to be Garrett Hodges leading things off for the Waves in what would be the 5th inning with 1 out and a runner on first. But I'm going to send it over to Tim. You can take us through the whole Ocean State lineup.
Yeah, so it'll be Joe Simone. He's going to start this game at first base. He earned a walk in the 5th inning. Garrett Hodges in right field. Xavier Vargas at first. Elijah Dunham in left. Casey Dane is the DH. Dylan Morton's at third base. Daniel Sears is behind the plate. Ian Osberg's at second. And Brett Helmkamp, who will be replaced defensively in the bottom half of the inning at shortstop by Will McGillis. Not sure if Helmkamp's going to hit, if McGillis is going to hit, or somebody else is going to hit, but McGillis will take over defensively at short in the bottom half of this inning.
So McGillis will eventually take over for the Waves. On the mound for the Gulls will be Mike Sansone. He was supposed to pitch yesterday in the All-Star game. It got rained out, and he was on the mound in the last week's game against the Waves, and he will remain on the mound to start here tonight. For the Gulls this season, he's had 11 appearances. He has a 2.25 VRA through 28 innings pitched. He's given up 7 runs, all of them earned, off of 27 hits and 3 walks. He has 27 strikeouts in those 28 innings pitched. As for the Gulls, taking a look at their lineup, Brett Fossick will lead things off in the bottom half of the 5th, but at the top of the lineup for the Gulls, it is Scott Holzwasser. Now, he played second base last week, but he's actually going to be moving over to shortstop here today. Behind him is Hudson Haskin, the Tulane center fielder. Batting third is Chris Hamilton, the designated hitter tonight for the Gulls. Batting fourth is Justin Henry Malloy, the Vanderbilt third baseman. Following him is Brett Vosick, the University of Kansas right fielder. Batting sixth is Hayden Jones, the Mississippi State catcher. Following him is Joey Bellini, who's coming in for Austin James. He'll be playing second base as Holzwasser shifts over to shortstop. Following him is Ryan Tours, the Villanova first baseman. And rounding out the order for the Gulls is Greg Cavalieri, the URI left fielder. And then, of course, for the Waves, Corey Sawyer was on the mound. Is he going to be the one that still is towing the rubber for the Waves?
Yeah, he's going to go out there for the bottom of the 5th inning. Only probably going to throw about 2 innings, and then he's going to turn it back over to the Waves bullpen. But it was really huge for him to get through these 4 innings when Sam Turcotte couldn't get out of the first.
And then tonight's umpiring crew, it will still be Scott Malloy, Joey Stegner, and Matt Hensel. But we're going to take a look at the weather here at Newport for first pitch in this day game for the first of 2 tonight for Newport. It's a sunny 80 degrees here at Newport, 73% humidity with 11-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south-southwest. So a little bit of a warmer one as we're playing through the heat of the day.
Yeah, it is. We're right in the afternoon in beautiful downtown Newport.
So it should be a good one. Looking at the defense for the Gulls, going from left to right in the outfield, it will be Cavalieri, Haskin, and Vosick. Left to right in the infield. This is where things switch up a little bit. Malloy, Holzwasser at shortstop, Bellini at second base, Tours at first base, and Jones behind the plate. Of course, Nick Bello is alongside us, and the NECBL is shaken up a little bit as the week has gone on since we were here last time between these 2 teams. And this is the last week of action here in the NECBL. The playoff races are heating up. There's a lot of games this week. How would you take a look around the standings and the games that are going on today?
Thank you, Steven. So in the Northern Division, we have North Adams leading with a 24-15 record. Followed by them is Upper Valley Nighthawks, 1 game behind at 23-16. The Keene Swamp Bats, 23-17, 1.5 games out of first place. The Vermont Mountaineers, 3 games out of first place, 22-19 on the season. The Valley Blue Sox, 20-18 on the season, 3.5 games out of first place. The Sanford Mainers and the Winnipesaukee Muskrats round out the bottom half of the bottom 2 of the Northern Division. 9.5 games for Sanford out of first place and 12 games out of Winnipesaukee in last place. As for the Southern Division, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks lead with 25-14 record in the Southern Division. The Newport Gulls are 2 games behind them, 23-16. The Mystics team is 4.5 games out of first place at a 20-18 record. The Danbury Westerners 18-20 on the season, 6.5 games out of first place. The Ocean State Waves 7.5 games out of first place, 17-21 on the season. And the New Bedford Bay Sox in last place, 13.5 games out, 12-28 on the season. As for today, of course, we have a doubleheader here in Newport, so we'll be restarting this game in the top of the 5th, 7-6, Ocean State. Danbury and Mystic play at 5 p.m. Vineyard and Winnipesaukee at 6:05. Upper Valley and Sanford at 6:30. Mystic and Danbury in a doubleheader, so they play at 5 and at 6:30. North Adams and Valley 6:35, and Keene will be coming here to Newport for a 6:35 start here at Cardines Field. So Stephen, back to you.
Obviously a lot of important games today. Of course, Newport trying to get a win against Ocean State, and then the Keene Swamp Bats. If they win both of those games, then they clinch a playoff spot. But other than that, the Mystic and Danbury doubleheader, those are huge, not only for Newport, but also for Ocean State.
Yeah, I mean, they really are. You can't have both teams get losses in the Schooners and the Westerners, but best case scenario for the Waves, they split that, and you're still able to pick up some ground on one of those teams that you're chasing.
Yeah, and Ocean State right now, as we looked at the standings, 7.5 games back from first place, but that's not what they're aiming for with this little time back in the regular season. They're just trying to get that 3rd spot in the playoffs and get into the playoffs, and then they can play for that 1-game playoff and just go from there.
Yeah, they're only 3 games out with 5.5 left, so it's certainly doable if you're the Waves. You just need other teams to lose, and you need to keep winning.
Fortunately for Ocean State, though, as we talked about, 8 out of their last 10 they have won, and there's still that chance to make it into the playoffs. And they've added some pitching depth, and they look like a team that could make that late surge into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they really do. The offense has really come around as of late. They've only been retired 1, 2, 3 in the first innings but I believe it's 2 of their last 15 games. And the pitching has just been dominant. They were dominant in the doubleheader against the Valley Blue Sox. They were okay against Winnipesaukee, they were okay against Upper Valley. Seamus Brazil dominated the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, so you can't ask much more from the Waves pitching staff.
For Newport, they had Mike Sansone and Carson Rudd that were scheduled to pitch yesterday in the All-Star game, but Tim, you were there along with me at the All-Star game. It was rained out just 2.5 innings in. Mike Sansone, who's on the mound today, was on the mound when the game was called. He didn't even get a pitch in. He was a little upset about it, as you might imagine, but he did. Both pitchers, Sansone and Rudd, were able to throw bullpens there after the game was called, and so they are available here today. They weren't scheduled to at least throw today if they were going to throw yesterday. So that actually, although it's unfortunate for them because it's an honor to throw in the All-Star game, and it's an exciting event, but they are available for the Newport Gulls here tonight, which helps the team because it is such a hefty schedule for them. Doubleheader today. They had a doubleheader on Friday. They had a game on Saturday. Then they go to Upper Valley tomorrow. Then they have a game on Wednesday and Thursday. And these are important games where you kind of need all those arms.
Yeah, and it's same for the Waves. None of their pitchers actually threw in the All-Star game. Peyton Dietz was the only slotted pitcher to throw. He was coming in after Mike Sansone, or Carson Rudd, actually. And it just helps the Waves because they have all their arms available today. They have Corey Sawyer, who did throw in the prospect showcase earlier in the day, but that was his scheduled bullpen day, so he's going to be fresh and available for today.
Of course, we talked briefly about the All-Star game with Sansone and Rudd there, but it was a pretty sweet event. I know you were there, and everyone was in a good mood, and it was a great display from Vermont and all the events that they put on. It was just an electric atmosphere. It was everything that you wanted out of that.
Yeah, it really wasn't. How about T.T. Bowens in the home run derby?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, what was it, 16 home runs in the first round in 3 minutes, and then 24 in the final round? Unbelievable.
I was down on the field for that, and just the sound off his bat was something you don't hear in this league a lot.
I mean, they were well into the second row of the parking lot in Vermont, and that is a deep park.
Yeah, and he was missing baseballs and hitting them out.
And it's a hard thing to do, to hit it out of that park when you're squaring them up, and he was clearing the scoreboard out there.
Yeah, I was worried. I was 2 rows back from the scoreboard. I was worried about my car getting hit.
Yeah, I mean, there were some shots that you could have stacked up another scoreboard on top of their scoreboard, and he would have cleared that.
I think he cleared the light tower at least 2 or 3 times.
Another one of my favorites was Cam Climo.
Yeah.
He was, of course, of the Vermont Mountaineers, so he had the home crowd behind him. He had 11 home runs in the first round, so he made it to the finals. And seeing the energy that he had, some adrenaline pumping because of the home crowd behind him, that was just a treat to watch.
Yeah, it really was. They really got behind him when he was up at the plate for the home run derby, and I think, honestly, that's what powered him to come in second place.
Yeah, he was just electric out there. Those two just really put on a show. Justin Henry Malloy, who's hitting today for the Gulls, had 9 home runs. He was fun to watch. Just everyone out there was having a good time.
Yeah, it was just, that's what this All-Star Game's about. It's about having fun, and that's what everybody did.
And what was cool is everyone was there together, and they could have that day off where they didn't have to worry about the standings. They didn't have to worry about competition. Yeah. They could just enjoy having each other and enjoying a day of baseball where it was a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, it was. It was a relaxing, fun day of baseball. Everybody was going to get to play, unfortunately, due to the rain. It doesn't say this. Elijah Dunham for the Waves had the only hit of the Southern Division.
Yeah, looking at the stats from the North and South, they only got 2.5 innings in. The South, as you said, only had 1 hit on the day, and it was Elijah Dunham. The North did score a run on the day. It was Sam Cochran who came around to score. He reached on an error and then was later hit in off of Orion Hogan's single. On the day for the Southern Division pitchers, Trey McLaughlin pitched an inning. Tyler Shaw for the Mystic Schooners. 2 Mystic pitchers pitched an inning. Both of them had good outings. Strikeout for McLaughlin. Shaw pitched an inning, just gave up a hit. Nick Piero, a starter. And my favorite story about Piero for North Adams, pitched an inning here at Cardines. Contact fell out. Pitched that inning blind. Didn't give up a run.
Really?
Didn't give up a
Wow.
run. And you could tell, or at least Davis Ellington of the North Adams Steeplecats, the broadcaster, we've worked with him, went and talked to Piero and said you could tell something was up, so he asked him. And Piero talked about how he couldn't see home plate and still didn't give up a run. He gave up 1 walk in the inning, and that was it. And I don't know, that just goes to show how talented he is. Obviously, he's a starter in the All-Star game. But to not give up a run while you can't see home plate, I don't know how you do that.
It's like the Steph Curry story where he just got contacts and he was hitting 3-pointers.
Yeah,
and he couldn't see the rim.
Right. How do you do that? I mean, just that just goes to show how talented some of these guys are. I mean, it's the best talent in the NECBL. But we are about set for action here, waiting for the players to get set. We're going to take a quick break here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We are set for action here at Cardines, and it's not the top of the first. It's not the top of any game. We are getting set, and it is the top of the fifth. Tim Joyce will be the play-by-play man for these innings, and there's a runner on first and one away. Tim, I'll let you get us caught up for what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be Joe Simone on first base. He walked in this fifth inning. Brett Helmkamp struck out to start the fifth inning, and Garrett Hodges is up at the plate now. There is no count on him. He's going to get a fresh count as Mike Sansone, the Fairfield Stag, is on the mound. He stays on the mound for the Gulls.
And this is an interesting mindset that Sansone might have on the mound. Typically a reliever that comes into games fresh out of the bullpen, but now he almost has to prepare as a starter today, and I wonder how that might affect him.
Yeah, it's going to be the same for Corey Sawyer, too. You're preparing like it's a start. You're not really going through your normal routines. Time's called. Our home plate umpire is pointing towards the mound. Or it looks like he's pointing at Joe Simone on first. Now it's the third base umpire, Levante Palmer, moving over towards second base. So the first pitch of this continued or suspended game from Sansone will have to wait a minute as he throws over. Dives back in safely, does Simone.
What an anticlimactic way to start the game.
I was all excited. First pitch to Hodges. Sansone kicks, delivers. Foul ball off the mid of Hayden Jones, the Gulls catcher.
Just feels like an odd day, though. You know, both teams really, how do you prepare your mind for this? I mean, as a hitter, Hodges coming into this already with a runner on first. What's your approach at the plate? Already swinging at the first pitch from Sansone.
I mean, the Waves, I know they were preparing as it's a brand new ball game. It's a one-run game, 7-6 in favor of the Waves as Sansone picks over again. Simone back in safely. But they were really just preparing like it's a new baseball game and you're going out and playing your hardest, trying to win that game. The 0-1. Sansone checks the runner, kicks, delivers. That's driven into center field. The center fielder Haskin is in, though it's hit right at him. They'll take a look at Simone, but it'll be a flyout for the second out of the inning.
And I think preparing as it is a new game is the way you have to prepare for it. I'm thinking of it as a one-run game, or you already have a lead, or you're already down. Just isn't the right mindset going in. You have to think of it as a fresh game, fresh start, and attack from there.
It's going to be Xavier Vargas now, the Waves' first baseman. On the day so far, he's 1 for 2. He reached in the first inning on a walk, scored. He struck out in the second and singled in the fourth. Scored as well on that. Sansone picks over again. Simone diving back in safely. So far we've seen more pickoff moves than we have pitches.
Keeping an eye on Simone over there at first. Simone on the season, only 4 stolen bases, but at Ryder this spring, 12 for 12 on the base pass.
Sansone throws over again. Simone back in.
So he does have some wheels at first. Obviously the All-Star nominee for the Waves.
Well, Sansone sets out of the letters. Out of the stretch. Pitch. That's ripped into right field. That'll get down for a hit off the wall. Simone is around second. He'll be held up at third. A long single for Xavier Vargas. A Fenway Park single here in Newport.
And a couple of hard hit balls already off of Sansone. Hodges' line drive to center was caught by Haskin, but that one was pulled down the line. And a hard hit ball off the wall, and runners on the corners now for the Waves early on.
Yeah, and it brings up Elijah Dunham, who is red hot in this game. He's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles in all 3 of his at-bats so far.
Yeah, and you have to be careful around him. Obviously a starter in the All-Star game this past Sunday, yesterday. Had a hit in the All-Star game.
Runners on first and third for the Waves as Sansone comes set at the letters. A light breeze here at Cardines. Lefty on lefty pitch to Dunham. Taken for a strike on the outside corner. Dunham on the year. 339 average, 6 home runs, 22 RBIs. He does have a hit off Sansone. He was the one who knocked the Gulls starter, Jordan Marks, out of the game in the fourth. Pitch to him, a breaking ball in the dirt. Hayden Jones blocks that up.
Nice block there from Jones. That gets away, then Vargas might move up to second base. Not a lot of room behind the backstop, so you're not likely going to see Simone move in to score, but at least Vargas would move up to second base, put another runner in scoring position, so if a hit does come across from Dunham, that could score too.
Another pitch. Breaking ball popped up in the infield. Justin Henry Malloy is in. Hayden Jones is out. It drops. The run scores for the Waves. Xavier Vargas goes to third, and Elijah Dunham is at first. A miscommunication there on the infield, and it'll go down as an error on the catcher, Hayden Jones.
Tough play there for Jones behind the plate. You'd like maybe Malloy to come in with a little bit more authority on the play. I mean, there's a big league pop-up in the infield, and you could see Jones from the get-go was struggling to track it. It was probably swirling in the air, and he just couldn't come away with it. And so everyone is safe on the play, and that scores another for the Waves.
Brings up Casey Dana now. He's yet to get a hit on the day. He's flied out and grounded out twice. Waves now lead 8-6. Pitch from him is flown deep into left field. Cavalieri is over a few steps in front of the wall and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. But the Waves do get one on a costly Gulls error. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field for the bottom of the fifth inning, Corey Sawyer stays on the mound. So far on the day has really got huge innings for the Waves. Sam Turcott couldn't get out of the first, only went 2/3 of an inning. Corey Sawyer came in, did not allow a run to score. 3 in the third innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So really been critical for the Waves as he will enter the game. Will McGillis will enter defensively at shortstop, replacing Brett Helmkamp. We'll take you around the Waves defense. First to third across the infield, Xavier Vargas, Ian Osborne, Dylan Morton, and Will McGillis. Left to right, Elijah Dunham, Joe Simone, Garrett Hodges, and on the mound, Corey Sawyer with Daniel Sears behind the plate. It's Brett Vosick to lead it off, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2. First pitch from Sawyer misses high.
Yeah, Vosick 0 for 2 in this game, but since then he's been heating up for the Gulls offensively. A couple of games ago against Danbury, 3 for 4 with 3 singles and an RBI, and then just 2 games before that against Martha's Vineyard had 4 singles with 2 runs scored.
As he takes a breaking ball strike, a slider there from Sawyer, his best pitch. Count is now 1-2. Fastball just missing on the outside corner. Vosick does not offer 2-2. Sawyer on the air for the Waves at 6.75 ERA, 10 2/3 innings. As it's a call or a swinging strike 3. Brett Vosick couldn't check his swing, and it's 1 down here for the Waves. Second straight strikeout for Corey Sawyer.
Tough break there for Vosick. Tried to hold up. Second check swing in a row. That time he went around. So now with 1 away, Hayden Jones comes up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. We'll try to start some hitting against Corey Sawyer, but lefty on lefty matchup might be a tough job for him.
First pitch from Sawyer fouled back off the padding behind home plate.
Now we were watching Hayden Jones in batting practice today, and he was absolutely slugging the ball, crushing it out to center in the right center gap. Everything seemed to be hitting off the wall.
Well, he cuts on it, misses a fastball high there from Sawyer. Quickly 0-2 on the Mississippi State Bulldog.
And you know, Jones is a guy who at Mississippi State, his first home run was crushed, absolutely crushed. If you look it up on YouTube or on the...
As that's ripped into center field, that'll get down in front of Joe Simone. Fields it for a 1-out base hit for the Gulls.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell that he was a guy that was in the zone today with how he took batting practice. It seemed like he was feeling a little bit different at the plate. By the way, it just sounded off his bat and a sharp line drive up the middle, and he finds his second hit of the day.
That'll be Joey Bellini. Now he replaced Austin James in the batting order. He went to second base. Scott Holzwasser's at short now.
James was hit in the head a couple days ago against New Bedford, and so since then they've had him out just for precautionary reasons. They don't want to test anything. We're obviously being careful about concussions, and so Bellini has been getting extra playing time because of it.
Well, that misses low. First pitch was a breaking ball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. That pitch is taken for a strike. Another slider from Corey Sawyer over the heart of the plate.
Blaney's a guy that can take his pitches, but when he makes contact, usually reaches extra base hits, can find gaps, and hit for power.
Well, he swings and misses at a breaking ball on the dirt there. He'll be out with a runner on first. No advance for Hayden Jones, and 2 strikeouts now for Corey Sawyer.
Yeah, Sawyer's doing a good job on the mound. He's sequencing his pitch as well. You're seeing a lot of off-speed and breaking balls from him. You see him able to throw one beneath the bat of a swinging Bellini there, and that's 2 this inning already. 3 out of the last 4 batters retired because of the strikeout.
Brings up Ryan Sewers now. He's walked and struck out on the days. He swings and misses at a slider there from Sawyer. He struck out to end the 3rd inning for the Gulls. Pitch from Sawyer. Taking a ball just inside. Another good breaking ball there, just missing. Got his 1-1 on Tours. Breaking ball taken for a strike, 1-2. Corey Sawyer 1 pitch away from striking out the side.
But did he, though?
Yes, he did.
Of course, that was the discussion we had during the rain delay last week.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's at Daniel Sears' feet. He has to throw it to first to complete the strikeout. He will, and Corey Sawyer strikes out the side here in the 5th inning.
The 2019 season.
Back here at Cardines, Corey Sawyer strikes out the side. At least I think Nick Bello doesn't agree with me. But Mike Sansone out for his now 3rd inning of work.
And this is an interesting discussion that we had during the rain delay briefly, and those that weren't here for it, I think it's good to bring it back up. Now there's a discussion. If you strike out 3 batters in an inning, but there's a hit given up or a walk like there was in the 5th, in between some of those strikeouts, is it still technically striking out the side?
I think it is.
I said last week no, and I'm sticking from my point from last week, so it's still a no for me.
This conversation was brought up because I brought it up to the Newport Gulls team.
As the first pitch from Sansone will hit the leadoff man, Dylan Morton, a no-out base runner for the catcher, Daniel Sears.
So I brought it up to the Gulls, and it created quite a spur. And they were at each other. I mean, nearly at each other. I mean, people had to be separated. They'd go to the bullpens, to the dugouts, to Panera. I mean, everyone was, nearly in a fight about it. And everyone was split, nearly 50-50. We had all the catchers agree that it has to be in order.
First pitch to Sears is flied foul. That'll get on top of the warehouse over in right field.
The side has to be retired in order, all strikeouts, for it to be the strikeout the side. You also had Coach Perello. Coach Winterode initially, until he was swayed to the other side, said that it was in order. Of course, Nick Bello, Brian Gursky, and Jordan Marks all say that you had to retire them in order. And then on the other side, you had Coach Sorrow and Zackerson.
0-1 to Sears, misses high.
Pitching coach and hitting coach for the Gulls. Then they swayed Winterode to the other side. You had John Perrick, an intern here. You had Chris Hamilton, the first baseman. You had, of course, Tim Joyce, the voice of the Ocean State Waves.
Pitch misses into Sears, 2-1, excuse me.
Then you had a lot of pitchers. Mike Townsend, Jimmy Kingsbury. You had Sam Jacobczak, Justin Cherry, Mackenzie Stills, which you expect from pitchers.
Yeah.
But then you had Scott Holzwasser, who's a middle infielder, too. So, yeah, you had a lot of guys splitting on either side, but no one could seemingly find a consensus.
Well, that pitch to Sears is driven into center field. Haskin is over in front of the Newport Gulls sign in right center to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Second straight time Daniel Sears is flowing out to the center fielder.
And what you see here with this argument, if you go and Google the answer, I don't think you can come up with an answer or a definitive answer. That's why I'm sticking with my point, because I could be right still.
Well, I think there is a flaw in your argument, and that is if you strike out someone and it's a drop third strike and they reach first base, and then you strike out the next guy, there's someone on first, but you strike out 4 guys.
First pitch to Osberg is driven deep into right field. That ball is gone. The Quinnipiac Bobcat has his first home run of the year, and it couldn't have come in a bigger spot for the Waves.
Yeah, big 2-run home run there for Osberg found a pitch over the heart of the plate from Sansone and able to drive it into right field, and that's big 2 extra runs for the Waves. They now extend their lead by 2-4. Now they lead 10-6.
Ian Osberg is extremely excited after that one. The last time the Waves were here in the first part of this game, it's really the first time he showed some power in BP. He was peppering balls over the screen in right field, and he does it here in the game off Sansone.
And had an RBI single earlier in this game, now a 2-run home run here. It's been a big reason why Ocean State's leading.
Oh, it brings up Will McGillis now. He took over defensively for Helmkamp at short in the bottom of the 5th inning.
The batter is Will McGillis, number 6.
First pitch misses up and away from Sansone. That pitch is fouled off into the screen behind home plate.
Tough go for Sansone so far, and you wonder if it's because of his new role here today, having to prepare maybe as a starter and not used to this, because this isn't a typical Sansone outing that we're used to seeing.
Well, that pitch is flown and it'll foul. It'll get out of play into the grandstands here.
Yeah, I think that definitely has something to do with it because as a bullpen pitcher, you kind of come into a game not expecting really to play or even to, pitch to the first batter. And now you come in here today, you're throwing bullpen before the game.
So that pitch is flown foul, again out of play by McGillis.
So basically your daily routine is thrown off.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a difficult thing for a guy like Sansone to do, who's strictly bullpen.
Yeah, you're completely mentally preparing completely differently, and it's just something he's probably not used to as a bullpen pitcher.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Sansone did in high school, but it's probably been a long time
Yeah.
since he's had to do something like this.
Pitch to McGillis. Breaking ball misses in the dirt.
Back to the striking out the side conversation. Now, Tim, you think that it's okay to give up a hit or a walk in between, and Nick, you are on the other side, but if you strike out a guy and it's drop third strike, he reaches base, and then you strike out the rest of the guys, you strike out 4 in that inning, but there was guys that reached base. That's striking out the side.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you give up a home run, you're still striking out the side with your thinking. My thinking, it's correct that you're not striking out the side.
But what about the scenario where you have the drop third strike?
Well, McGillis strikes out there, so that's 2 outs now for the Waves.
Will McGillis,
Well, I haven't come up with a good argument with that, so I'll get back to you on that one.
Oh, I commend you for compromising some.
I wouldn't even call that compromising. Call it just, we'll save it for a later date, like this game.
Well, Joe Simone up now. He walked in the 5th inning. First pitch to him from the lefty Sansone, a breaking ball that misses at the letters. 1-0. Simone on the day. He's reached base 3 times, a single, a double, and a walk. Again, misses up and in, this time by the fastball.
That's what Sansone does so well, though, is work inside on guys, so he's just missing his spots just barely, but if you're Sansone, that's where you want to keep going because it's going to eventually jam some guys up and create some of that weak contact that you want to force.
Well, that pitch is driven out into deep left center field. Cavalieri's back, Haskin is back, and it'll be Haskin 2 steps in front of the wall. The Waves get 2 on a huge Ian Osberg home run. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardinals, Corey Sawyer out into his 5th inning of work. He's thrown 4 2/3 so far. Has yet to allow a run.
So we were just mid-argument right there, Tim, so kind of tell us what just happened.
We were just saying, I think Corey Sawyer struck out the side. You disagree with me?
Just as it split up the team, it's splitting up the booth.
Well, that's ripped down the left field line by Cavalieri. That'll get to the wall. Elijah Dunham is over. Cavalieri is into second with a stand-up double, a leadoff double for the Newport Gulls.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Greg Cavalieri has done all season, and he comes through for the Gulls here in the 6th. When they need some runs and some base runners, he's been that table setter at the bottom of the lineup. Lines this one over the third baseman. Morton drills it into the left field corner, finds himself at second base now for the lineup as it flips over.
Well, it brings up the now shortstop, Scott Holzwasser. Corners are in for the Waves. First pitch to Holzwasser misses up. 1-0. Sawyer was only expected to go about 2 innings today. Not sure if there's any action in the Waves bullpen. As that pitch is popped up deeper, that ball's back. That ball's gone. A home run for Scott Holzwasser.
And that ball just kept carrying over and over. And there was some question whether or not it was going to hit the wall or not, but the corner in right center just comes in just a little bit, and Holzwasser hit it right over there. He'll take the home run whether or not it went to the deepest part of the park or a short part of the park. It counts just the same. A 2-run home run for the Gulls, and now it's just a 2-run lead for the Waves.
Yeah, I lost that ball off the bat, and then I saw Joe Simone just put his hands up, and then we saw the home run motion from the base umpire, so a huge home run for Scott Holzwasser, and brings up Hudson Haskin now for the Gulls as Corey Sawyer delivers a backdoor breaking ball for a strike.
That's Holzwasser's 4th home run of the season. Guy that can hit for average, can work, walks well, but also has some sneaky power to him.
Pitch to Haskin, a fastball misses up and inside.
And that home run right there shows 2 things. 1, how good Scott Holzwasser is, and 2, how important Cavalieri is at the bottom of the lineup. Because without him getting on base right there, you only get 1 run off of that home run. But
as the pitch to Haskin is grounded foul, yeah, that's exactly right. He's leading the team in average at 368, and he's hitting in the 9th spot.
I mean, it's a great strategy there by Kevin Winterode to know, where to put him in the lineup, not just stacking your first 4 or 5 guys.
1-2 on Haskin. Breaking ball there just misses outside. A good pitch there by Sawyer.
But now the lineup doesn't get any easier for Sawyer.
Really
You got
doesn't.
Hudson Haskin, who's a Southern Division All-Star at the plate. And behind him, Chris Hamilton, who's riding a 26-game on-base streak, now 27 once this game goes official because he already had the 3-run home run in this game.
Now I'll ask you this. Since this game was originally started on last Monday, does this count towards the Waves 6-game win streak, making it 7?
Oh, man, that's a tough question.
So
Should they win?
Should they win, it will.
As that pitch to Haskin is fouled back.
Because they've won every game since then.
They have not.
Oh, they have not.
They lost against Danbury and they lost against Upper Valley.
But it would go in the midst of that win streak during the time, correct? I'm confused. When was the win streak?
Yes.
When was the win streak?
So the win streak ended the game after against the Danbury Westerners. This was the game before. Riding a 6-game win streak coming into this game as that pitch is driven deep into right center field. Right fielder Hodges is over. He drops it. It gets past the glove. He couldn't see it with the sun. Haskins around third. The throw from Hodges will not be in time. We'll wait for a ruling, whether it's an error or a base hit. But nonetheless, a base runner at third base, and it will be a triple for Hudson Haskin.
Yeah, Hodges just lost it in the sun over there. And that's that's a tough play in right field. As you see, I'm trying to cover the sun with his glove a little bit right at the end of it. Tracked it right at the last second, but it was too little, too late. And with Haskin's speed, you're not going to be able to catch up with him over there at third. He legs out a triple. That's a great opportunity now for the Gulls. No outs and a runner 90 feet from scoring.
Well, that pitch will hit Chris Hamilton. So runners on the corners now for the Newport Gulls.
And this is turning into a huge inning for the Gulls. Runners now on the corners. You got one of the best hitters in the lineup, Justin Henry Malloy, a home run derby contestant yesterday in the All-Star festivities over there at Montpelier. Just a guy that's been a mainstay in the Newport middle of the order. Just one of the best hitters on the Gulls. Can hit for average, can work walks, and now obviously because he was the home run derby contestant, has so much power to his name as well.
Yeah, well, Brian Key, who's going to go out for a chat, the Waves manager and pitching coach, so Sawyer not necessarily out of the game. Again, not sure if there was action in the Waves bullpen, as we're blinded. There is action in the bullpen. It's Monty Horn.
And Sawyer has been struggling just through this last inning. Obviously, the double down the line to Cavalier, and then the 2-run shot to Holzwasser. And they've been spraying it all over the field, the Gulls have. And then the last pitch running inside on Hamilton. I wouldn't be surprised if Sawyer keeps struggling on the mound, if they make a quick hook to the bullpen soon.
Yeah, Horn was warming with pace in the Waves bullpen down the left field line.
Especially with this 2-run lead for the Waves so far. You don't want to give that up, and so you might want to turn to the bullpen before it gets any worse for you.
First pitch to Malloy. Breaking ball, backdoor taken for a strike. Malloy had 9 home runs in the home run derby. A pretty impressive round in 3 minutes, but man, T.T. Bowens and Cam Climo just went absolutely off in the first round. Is that pitch another backdoor breaking ball, misses just outside, 1-1.
Yeah, after Jahan hit 9 home runs, a lot of people thought he was going to be in the finals, but then Cam Climo with that inspiring effort with the home crowd behind him deserved a spot in the finals. And I mean, he put on a show.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
all
did.
the guys did, but Climo and T.T. Bowens, they were fun to watch.
1-1. Fastball misses high, 2-1.
Yeah, that's what Malloy does best. Just those close pitches. They look good. They're good pitches from Sawyer, but Malloy knows the zone so well, and he's able to lay off.
2-1 from Sawyer. Fastball misses high, 3-1.
Another good pitch, but another good layoff there from Malloy. And this is where Sawyer has to be careful. It's already been dinged up a little bit in this inning, but you can't bring over the heart of the plate with a pitch here.
Well, the 3-1 pitch misses high, ball 4. The bases are loaded now for the Gulls, and I think that might do it for Corey Sawyer.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the quick hook here. We talked about it before that at bat, and then he walked Malloy, bases now loaded, and you have a dangerous hitter. Would be Brett Vosick, but it looks like a pinch hitter in Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, it is going to be Isaiah Thomas, the pinch hitter.
Hitting for the right fielder,
The fellow Vanderbilt Commodore.
Vosick. With number 26, Isaiah
Thomas also another Southern Division All-Star. Didn't get any reps yesterday, obviously, because the game got rained out, but deserved a spot on the All-Star team because of the season he's been having for the Gulls, hitting .316 coming into tonight, 7 doubles and 3 home runs. Can hit for average and a lot of power.
Well, the corners of the infield will be in for the Waves, looking to get it out at home plate. The middle infield is back with no outs, so willing to concede the 2 outs for the run is the first pitch that Thomas, a breaking ball, backdoor taken for a strike. No outs here and 2 runs in. The base is juiced for the Gulls. Pitch to Thomas, a breaking ball cut on a missed strike 2.
Yeah, great breaking ball there from Sawyer. You could tell Thomas was looking for the fastball with that swing, and the breaking ball just dipped beneath his bat, and Thomas had no answer for it.
Well, the 0-2 pitch. Check swing, did he offer? He did offer a strikeout for Corey Sawyer, and a big one at that for the Waves.
It's a close call, but a big punch out there for Sawyer. The first out sets up the double play to get you out of the inning.
Well, it doesn't get any easier with Hayden Jones. He's singled twice today and also grounded out to Xavier Vargas. First pitch to the lefty Jones, a ball in the dirt, 1-0.
It's a big opportunity for the Gulls. You feel like they have to capitalize here with the bases loaded, only down 2 runs.
Pitch misses up, 2-0. Jones at a Mississippi State, a College World Series team for 2 years in a row, just finished up his freshman campaign for the Bulldogs. Is that the breaking ball cut on a miss? No advance for the runner at third, though. In Hudson Haskin as that got away from Daniel Sears.
Yeah, Sawyer working that breaking ball well again. Jones hunting for that fastball, and it caught him off guard with the breaking ball. But then that ball got away from Sears, and Haskin with a little bit of hesitation as it kicked away. So base is still loaded with the 2-1 count.
Haskin at third, Hamilton at first, Malloy at, as that misses away. Hamilton at second, Malloy at first, as the count is now 3-1. Corey Sawyer in danger of walking in a run.
And you definitely don't want to give up anything over the plate here to Hayden Jones because he can really, really hit.
Sawyer steps off. Adjusts his cap, steps back on the rubber now. Jones taps the plate with his bat. 3-1 pitch. Misses away, ball 4. Corey Sawyer has walked in a run.
Second walk of the inning for him. He also hit a batter, so he's losing a little bit of his command this inning. The Gulls will take it, but if you're Ocean State, you got to start thinking about going to the bullpen.
Yeah, and you're just right, Steven. That's going to do it for him. It'll be the Monty Horn, the New Waves pitcher. We'll hear more about it when we come back on the NACBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines, a new pitcher for the Waves is going to be Monty Horn, a rising junior from Kennesaw State in Lawrenceville, Georgia. No record on the year, 3.68 ERA. Has appeared in 12 games, all out of the Waves bullpen. Does have a save on the year. 14 2/3 innings, 15 strikeouts, 10 walks, and opponents are hitting .250 off of me. The last pitched in Game 1 against the Valley Blue Sox on July 25th. He went an inning and third and that, allowed 1 run. Run was actually on a balk. How is that how it scored? He walked 2 and struck out 2 in that one.
Yeah, tough spot to come in with the bases loaded. Not an ideal situation, but 1 away, and he's probably just going to look to come in, induce a ground ball, trying to get a double play and get out of here quickly. But if you're the Gulls, it's a great opportunity. You're down just 1 run. It's 10-9. You want to take advantage if you're Bellini at the plate. Try to get anything past the infield. Just keep the chain moving down the line and see if you could make this really a big inning for you.
As you said, Steven, it's going to be Joey Bellini, the second baseman, took over for Austin James as Scott Holzwasser moved to shortstop. Monty Horn's full name is James Monteith Horn, but he prefers Monty. This is the first pitch to the Cincinnati Bearcat. A breaking ball taken for a ball inside, 1-0. Horn has traditionally been a 1-inning guy for the Waves. There's the 1-0. That's chopped in front of foul. Looked to appear off the foot of Bellini, but it was called foul immediately.
Yeah, I mean, just barely foul there off his foot. Looked like a second. Sears wanted to go after it if it was fair. Bellini might have caught a break there because a little over the top of it. And obviously, with the corners in and middle infield playing double play depth, he's going to look to put anything into the outfield here.
Count is even. Pitch from Horn. Breaking ball taken inside. 2-1.
Horn going with some early breaking balls. Looks to be a slider early on, but can't find the control of it. Both of them a little inside on Bellini, and if you're Bellini, just be patient at the plate. There's no pressure to be swinging just yet unless you find your pitch.
Well, that pitch is roped down the third baseline. That'll get down for a hit. Run scores in Hamilton. It's into the bullpen, so 2 runs will score, and the Gulls take an 11-10 lead.
Well, we were saying just be patient at the plate unless you find your pitch. He got a fastball middle, and he pulled it down the third base line, ripped that one past the infield, which is what we wanted him to do, and he did just that into the bullpens in left field. Ground rule double for the Gulls. That scores 2, and they take their second lead of the day.
Oh, it brings up Ryan Tours now. He scored a run in the first when he walked. He has struck out twice since then. Five runs have come around to score for the Gulls, and there's just 1 out here in the 6th. Pitch to Tours, a breaking ball taken for a strike. Tours, the 9th goal to bat. Big lefty from Villanova. Waves infield is in. That's grounded foul off the Gulls dugout on the first baseline.
Another good opportunity for the Gulls. Only 1 out, and you have 2 runners in scoring position. 2 strikes for Tours at the plate, but might just try to put anything into play right now. You have the infield playing in, so anything hit sharply, and you might get it past him into the outfield once again.
It's a breaking ball in the dirt. Tours does not offer.
Good take there. You probably could have seen the breaking ball coming from Horn with 2 strikes. He tried to go with it early against Bellini and then shied away from it here against Tours. So he probably had a feeling that the slider was going to be coming probably lower in the zone. Good take from Tours. Now he's going to be looking for a pitch he could drive.
Count is 1-2. Pitch from Horn. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Daniel Sears will have to throw to first to complete the strikeout. The runner at third, Jones faked going home. But now the Waves got 2 outs.
Another nice pitch there from Horn, though. I mean, working low in the zone. Looked to be his changeup that dipped beneath the bat of Tours, and now there's 2 away. Gulls have battered around the lineup, though, in this inning. Second time today, and that's going to bring up Cavalieri, who doubled to start off this inning.
Cavalieri had that double, came around to score on the home run by Holzwasser. He's now batting from the left side, had that double from the right side as it was off the lefty Corey Sawyer. First pitch from Horn taken for a strike on the outside corner.
And Cavalieri had the double hitting from the right side. He's more comfortable hitting from the left side.
He always seems every switch hitter usually has that side that they're a little more comfortable with. The 0-1 to the switch hitting out of URI that's in the dirt, 1-1. Cavalieri, as we said, leads the Gulls on average at a .368 clip. Only has 1 home run on the year that came against his former team, the North Adams Steeple Cats. One pitch to Cavalieri from Horn. Breaking ball just missing outside, a good pitch there.
Yeah, and you're seeing Horn pretty much exclusively throw that slider just over and over. He did it against Bellini, a couple offers to Tours, and now here against Cavalieri. All the Gulls hitters just laying off it early on.
1-1. In the dirt. Hayden Jones will not. He fakes going home, but he will not score as the short backstop here at Cardines.
Yeah, definitely a smart hold up there by Jones as the ball almost ricocheted right back to the catcher.
Yeah, that's a product of those hard backstops here at Cardines. You could see Jones was thinking about it, and all the coaches were yelling at him to come back to third. So he put on the brakes and ran back swiftly, and so it's a 3-1 count now to the patient Cavalieri at the plate, trying to get a pitch he could drive or work a walk to load the bases back up.
Yeah, Jones looked like a cartoon character out there,
Yeah.
putting on the brakes literally, it seemed like.
3-1 from Horn. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Good fastball there from Monty Horn.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, fastball low, even if Cavalieri gets a piece of it, I don't know if he's going to be able to do too much with it. It was just a great location from Horn, and now he's back in the driver's seat. 3-2 count makes it tough, a little bit tougher for Cavalieri.
Well, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. But the Gulls do get 5 runs here in the 6th. They take an 11-10 lead. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fan.
Back here at Cardines, the Gulls lead 11-10 after a 5-run 6th inning. But the play-by-play duties for me are over. My time to turn it back over to the voice of the Newport Gulls, Stephen Huff.
Thank you, Tim. It'll be Mike Sansone out there on the mound for the Gulls in the 7th, as he will face off against the 2-3-4 hitters. For the Waves, here in the top half of the inning, Gulls do lead by a score of 11-10 after that big 5-run inning, as the Waves did strike out the side once again. So the Gulls did hit around the order.
This is just unbelievable at this point.
Lefty on lefty matchup for Sansone. First offering to Hodges, breaking ball that just misses inside. 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, you score 5 runs, but the side was still struck out.
That's how that works.
This is starting to make me hate baseball.
1-0 offering. Fastball going to be chopped foul along the left-hand side. 1-1. It's only perfect that today, with Tim Joyce in the booth who started the discussion, we've seen 2 innings where teams have struck out the side, and Nick Bellows in the booth with us, objecting it.
It's like the baseball gods are trying to punish me or something.
Sansone looking on the 1-1. Another breaking ball high, and it's going to be chopped foul along the left-hand side once again, 1-2.
And on the bright side, if you're the Waves, you're still only down 1. You did relinquish a 4-run lead, but again, you're only down 1.
And you have had production from the whole lineup, but especially Hodges, Vargas, and Dunham, who are due up this inning. Now this 1-2 pitch, fastball, catches the corner low and away and catches Hodges looking for strike 3. And there's one away here in the 7th.
Yeah, it was a great pitch from Sansoni. Started Hodges with 3 straight breaking balls, then comes back with a backdoor fastball and gets the called strike 3.
It's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Sansone, 4th of the day for the Newport staff. That will bring up Xavier Vargas. Vargas is 2 for 3 on the day, a pair of singles. 2 runs scored as he also worked a walk in the first. First offering, fastball high and swung through for Vargas, 0-1.
So I have a question for you guys. So we've seen Sansone here kind of settle in, but he kind of got off to a rough start since he's probably not used to coming in and having to kind of start a game. So
0-1 pitch, another fastball up the upper half. Vargas watching for strike 2.
And so we saw what happened to Sawyer last inning. Would you have, put in a starter for maybe 2 innings and then gone to your bullpen instead of having these bullpen guys start the game for you?
I don't think that's a bad idea, but I think because you have to shuffle so many arms, it's not a bad idea with what these 2 teams did today, where you just keep the guys in there. As that 0-2 pitch was fouled off once again, count remains.
Yeah, personally, I would have left him in there. I think if you put a starter in, it kind of messes up your rotation because you already threw a starter in this game in Sam Turcott, so.
Yeah, I see your point there. I just think, in terms of you wanting to get the win.
Now this 0-2 pitch is going to be blasted into right. Going back is Vosick looking up. It's going to be a home run for Vargas. Solo shot, and that will tie things up here at 11.
Man, this is a crazy game. 22 runs scored in just 6 1/3 innings.
So that home run for Vargas does tie this one up at 11. And Vargas, it seems like a matter of time that he had a big game like this. He's just a power hitting first baseman that can also hit for average. When the Gulls and Waves have faced off, he hasn't had success at the plate, but he's found it here today.
Yeah, there's just something about Cardines Field that really produces offense for the Waves.
So with that home run, that will bring up Elijah Dunham. He's another guy that's been on a tear today as he swings and misses at this off speed, 0-1.
And both those home runs that Sansona's given up today, one to Osberg and one to Vargas, they've both been on hanging breaking balls. The Waves are really sitting on those pitches. You saw Elijah Dunham swing and miss at a breaking ball there. Waves have been sitting on that breaking ball from Sansone.
Now this 0-1 offering, another breaking ball, but this one drops beneath the zone, 1-1. Dunham on the day, 3 for 4, but he has reached base all 4 times. 3 doubles with 3 RBI, and he reached base last time up via an error. Hayden Jones couldn't come away with that pop-up in fair territory.
A little more about Vargas. The scouting report on him is throw breaking balls. He's a fastball hitter, but he's really made the improvement this year to start hitting those breaking balls.
Now this 1-1 fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 2. You see Vargas, hitting around 300 for the Waves, was a 300 hitter for URI, and once he can start hitting breaking balls, it's only time will tell what even better hitter he will be, as this ball is going to be ripped into the right center gap, and it's going to go all the way to the ivy in the right field fence. And moving up to second on the play is Elijah Dunham with his 4th double of the day.
That's just insane. 4 doubles. That mount coming into this game, he had 7. He hasn't had a double since then. So once these stats get updated, he'll have 11 doubles on the year.
They're now going to go check on Dunham at second base. You have the whole coaching staff for the Waves.
Yeah, it looked like he tweaked it a little bit coming around first.
Going to make sure he's okay. Kevin Winterroad going out to the mound to check on Sansone, and they're going to call it a day for him. So a new pitcher coming in for the Gulls. We'll have more information on him coming up next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fans, the
new pitcher on the mound for Newport here in the top of the 7th. It's Carson Rudd of Stanford. On the season for Newport, he's pitched 7 times through 2 2/3. He still hasn't given up a run. He's just given up 4 hits and 9 walks, has 19 strikeouts in those 10 2/3 innings pitched. He was a guy that was supposed to pitch for the Southern Division All-Stars yesterday in the All-Star game, but it was rained out, so he did just throw a bullpen for all the scouts in attendance. But he will pitch today, relieving Mike Sansone after he gave up a solo shot and a double here in this inning. And there's a new runner on second base for Elijah Dunham. It is Nick Elson for the Ocean State Waves.
Yeah, the Kent State Golden Flash, we saw him make some flashy defensive plays here at Guardians a few games back.
First offering from Rudd is going to be popped back into the screen from Casey Dana, 0-1.
And Elson, against the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, made a top 10, a SportsCenter S top 10 defensive play. He jumped at the wall. Half his body was over the wall, and he robbed what would have been a grand slam and put the Muskrats just one run behind the Waves.
He is aboard second now for Ocean State. Dana at the plate, who is 0 for 4 on the night, but did have an RBI ground out in the fourth. Now this 0-1 fastball swung through and missed, 0-2. Rudd is a fastball slider pitcher, has a change he'll throw at times, but will stick to his fastball usually, and then will sequence his slider that he sometimes will play with and make it seem more like a curve. But typically he will just stick with that fastball. Now he's looking on the righty-on-righty matchup. Looks over at second at Elson, now on the 0-2, there's the slider, and it catches Dana looking for strike three. First strikeout of the day for Rudd on the mound. Fifth of the day for the Newport staff.
The third baseman, number 21, Dylan Morton.
So with that strikeout, there's two away here in the seventh, and that will bring up Dylan Morton. He was another guy that was the All-Star festivities yesterday. Righty on lefty matchup for Rudd on the mound. First offering fastball missing low, ball one.
Yeah, he was the Waves home run derby participant. Didn't have quite the showing he wanted. Only had 3 home runs, but
still good to be out there. Just the fact that he was in it shows that he is a threat at the plate. Now on the 1-0, another fastball. This one down in the outside corner. Low and away, 1-1.
yeah, Rudd really has been impressive in just the batter and a half he's faced so far.
You can see the live fastball coming from his arm. That's what he's been sticking to mostly. He does have that slider that he used as his put-away pitch in that last at-bat. On the 1-1, there's the fastball once again. It misses up, 2-1. So top of the seventh, still tied at 11 with 2 away. Xavier Vargas tied things up at 11 with his solo shot here in this inning. Now on the 2-1 offering, another fastball. This one missed up and away. We must have missed one because that was ball 4. So now he is aboard first with that walk, and there's runners on first and second.
I'll take his word for it. I believe him.
As will the rest of the Ocean State crew here tonight. So runners on first and second now with 2 away. And that will bring up Daniel Sears. He's 1 for 4 with a double. Came in the third where he was later stranded. So righty on righty matchup for Rudd on the mound. Rudd looking over at second now on the first offering fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. And you worry sometimes about those long road trips and how they might affect some pitchers. Rudd was a part of that road trip yesterday coming back from Vermont. But he looks to be all right here today. The fastball is looking to be good. But you wonder with Sansone and the new role he was in today, if maybe that had an effect on him.
Yeah, certainly Elijah Dunham tweaking muscle there. He was in a car for 7 hours as well yesterday.
So we've seen a couple of guys leave this game today. Maybe just the festivities from yesterday and the long rides had an effect on them as this slider misses outside. 1-1. Rudd looking on 11-11 your score. The 1-1 offering, another breaking ball dropping into the zone, 1-2.
Yeah, Rudd's doing a great job of using his very hard fastball to set up the looping breaking ball, get the Waves hitters off balance.
Now on the 1-2, he's used that breaking ball as a put-away pitch, but he just used it to get that second strike. He might come back with the fastball here. It's on the 1-2, does come with the fastball, but it just misses. Low and away for ball 2.
Rudd started walking all the way to the dugout. Didn't quite get the call he wanted.
Just missed a little bit, so the count now even at 2 for Rudd. As he looks into Sears at the plate for Ocean State. Looks into Hayden Jones behind the plate for Newport. Now time is called at the plate. Newport does have a game tonight. After this one, they will play the Keene Swamp Bats as the nightcap of their doubleheader. On the 2-2, another fastball going to be hit foul off of Sears' bat and off of Jones behind the plate. Count remains. This is the only game Ocean State plays today.
Yeah, just this one suspended game was a scheduled off day.
But you guys have a tough schedule coming up later this week.
Yeah, we have a doubleheader tomorrow against the New Bedford Bay Sox out at New Bedford. Waves will be away for both those games. Then a split doubleheader against the Sharks and the Swamp Bats on Wednesday, and we round out the season at Danbury.
And that one could have playoff
It really could.
implications. As this 2-2 breaking ball swung on and missed at the top edge of the zone, forced strike 3. So another inning where the pitchers strike out the side, but Ocean State does score 1 to tie things up back at 11, heading into the bottom of the 7th. It's tied at 11 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th here at Cardines, tied at 11. Everyone's scoring runs and the pitchers are striking out the side still in every single inning, as it will be the top of the lineup due up for Newport. Scott Holzwasser, the shortstop today, leading things off for the Gulls, as it will be Monty Horn still on the mound for Ocean State. First pitch fastball missing low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, you know, the third straight half inning where the side was struck out.
It's not true.
It's very true.
In my opinion, it's not true.
Now the 1-1 offering swung through from Holzwasser, tipped into the glove of Sears, 1-1.
You know, if only a few of us agree with it, does that make it true? I don't think it does.
The majority, though. That might be different as this 1-1 breaking ball drops beneath the zone, 2-1. Holzwasser on the day, 3 for 3 with a walk, has a pair of singles and a 2-run home run in the last inning. 4 RBIs on the day and 2 runs scored. It's been a big reason why the Gulls have had so many runs today. This offering to Holzwasser. He's going to chop down the third base line. It's going to go all the way towards the Gulls bullpen. He's rounding first, thinking 2, and he's going to get there easily with the double. Stand-up double for Holzwasser. He continues his tear at the plate with his 4th hit of the day.
I mean, that's just a great piece of hitting there from Holzwasser, just to take that pitch and slap it right down the third base line. Get 2 bases out of that one with no outs.
Yep.
Yeah, no outs. Runner in scoring position now for the Gulls. Tie ball game, and it's the top of the lineup with Hudson Haskins, the second man in the lineup, due up for the Gulls. Last time up for him looked like a pop-up to Hodges over in right field, but the sun was in his eyes, and so Haskin was accredited with the triple on the play. As he shows bunt here, pops it up towards the third base side in foul territory. Jumping up on the play and making the snag was Morton for out number 1.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite result you wanted there if you were the Gulls.
Yeah, I mean, Haskin, a guy that can lay down bunts well, and even with his speed can make it a tough play over there at first, but got up underneath that one, and Morton was able to make the play. And so now there's one away with a runner on second for Chris Hamilton. Hamilton on the day, 1 for 3. Had the 3-run home run in the first, and last time was hit by a pitch and later came around to score. It's a righty on lefty matchup for Horn on the mound. First offering fastball, missing low for ball 1.
And you know, the Gulls don't need anything more than just to get Holzwasser in from second. So if I'm Hamilton, I'm just looking for a good pitch to hit, a good pitch I can get through a gap somewhere.
Hamilton does have a 26 game on base streak coming into tonight. Make it 27 after his 3-run home run. This 1-0 breaking ball misses low and inside. Nice block there from Sears. 2-0.
Yeah, Daniel Sears has really showed out defensively lately. He did it in the game against the Valley Blue Sox. Those 2 games, he ended up having to catch both games of that doubleheader, and he's just been an absolute brick wall there behind the plate for the Waves.
Keeping Holzwasser at second base. That could be costly for the Gulls because, I mean, that 90 feet is a huge difference, and one hit, I mean, ideally you might be sending him, but you don't want to be too aggressive as this one's going to be chopped over to the first base side, and Vargas can't handle it. They are going to send Holzwasser home. Hodges doesn't make a throw, and so Holzwasser will score. And the Gulls have a 12-11 lead. They are going to give Hamilton a single on the play, and so that is an RBI single. Now the Gulls lead by a run.
Yeah, it goes down as a single, but a rare defensive play you don't see Xavier Vargas make over there at first.
Yeah, we've talked about it before with Vargas when these two teams have played. He is just an incredible first baseman defensively. It's his first pitch to Justin Henry Malloy. Fastball missing low for ball 1. It's not often that he doesn't make a play hit over to him or thrown over to him, and that one was a tough chop over to him. You can't discredit him for not making the play. Now this 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, missing low, 2-0. Malloy on the day, 0 for 2, but has reached base safe twice. Pair of walks and a run scored his last time up. It's Monty Horn now looking on in this righty-on-righty matchup. On the 2-0, another slider, this one missing beneath the zone once again, 3-0.
It was a good pitch, not quite sure where that one missed.
Yeah, definitely not a bad place to miss if he even did miss.
3-0 the count now to Malloy. Runner on first for the Gulls with 1 away as they have taken the lead back in this inning. They are up 12-11 here in the bottom of the 7th. This 3-0 pitch, fastball, catching the outer half, 3-1. So now with the green light, Malloy will likely be swinging, and you got to be careful if you're Horn on the mound, but this pitch, another fastball that catches the outer half. Count now full. All the umpires in the crowd didn't like that call.
Must be a union meeting today.
Horn looking on the 3-2. Payoff pitch. Another breaking ball that misses low and away, and so that will put Malloy aboard first for the 3rd time today via a walk, and there's runners on first and second now for the Gulls. So with runners on first and second, 1 away, that will bring up Isaiah Thomas. He came in to pinch hit for Brett Vosick in the 6th. Thomas is 0 for 1 on the night in his only plate appearance. Struck out swinging. But he comes up in a good situation for Newport with runners on first and second. A chance to keep things going in this inning as they have taken the lead in this inning. Another righty-on-righty matchup for Horn on the mound. First offering another slider that misses outside for ball one.
You know, just like I said with Hamilton earlier in the inning, you don't have to do much right here if you're Isaiah Thomas. You just find a hole and hit it to there and hopefully score that run from second.
Hamilton does have some pretty decent speed at second base, so they might send him as this 1-0 pitch swung on and missed from Thomas. The bottom edge of the zone, 1-1. You're seeing Horn lose his command a little bit in this inning, especially with the slider. Not by a lot, but just can't find the zone with as much ease as he did earlier in this game.
Yeah, I think he just needs to settle in and kind of get back in the groove he had.
Now this 1-1, another breaking ball that Thomas is going to swing at and tip back into the backstop. Looked to be off the mask of Sears as well, 1-2. They're going to call time, probably just give Sears some time behind the plate. Make sure he's okay. This also helps Horn on the mound so he can regain his composure. Good situation he finds himself in here. Could put away Thomas with a put-away pitch or set up a double play.
Yeah, double play would be huge for the Waves, get you out of the inning, but you're not going to complain if you get a strikeout.
Of course, Sawyer, before Horn on the mound, had 8 strikeouts on the day. An incredible performance for him. It's now the 1-2 offering. Another swing and a miss from Thomas. And that will be a strikeout. 2 outs now here in the 7th, and with runners on first and second, 2 away, that will bring up Hayden Jones. Jones on the day, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, but has reached base 3 times. Worked a walk his last time up in the 6th.
Yeah, if you're a Horn, you're definitely not out of the woods yet with Hayden Jones coming up to the plate.
Guy with a lot of power at the plate is this first pitch fastball. Jones wanted all of it, but was a little over the top of it, chopped it back to the screen. 0-1. Righty on lefty matchup for Horn. He's been having a lot of righty on righty matchups. First one since Chris Hamilton, who singled off him earlier this inning. Horn working out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. On the 0-1, breaking ball. Drops beneath the zone. Jones thought about it. Check swing. They're going to say he didn't go around. 1-1.
The Waves umpires in the crowd getting into it.
They are not happy about that one. One of the more animated calls we've seen from the crowd. Now on this 1-1 fastball, Jones is going to pop out a play along the left field side, 1-2.
You know, if you're going to heckle an umpire, right now is not the time to do it. It is dead silent here at Guardians, and everybody can hear you.
Of course. Now you could make the case that it is the time to do it, being dead silent.
True. That's
true.
true. He's going to hear you.
Yeah, the complaint department's wide open, actually, so.
Hey, of course, it is a makeup game, so the fanfare here is a little bit lower than usual.
He's still going, too. That's impressive.
You got to admire him. Just a little bit for what he's doing. As this 1-2 pitch is going to get away from Sears behind the plate. Fastball low all the way back to the backstop, and everyone is going to move up on the plate. It's going to be a pass ball. And now runners on second and third for the Gulls. So with Horn on the mound, 2-2 count now to Jones. Good opportunity for him. He's choking up on the bat on the 2-2. Breaking ball catches him looking for strike 3, and that will end things here in the 7th. But the Gulls do take the lead back after Chris Hamilton hits in Scott Holzwasser with an RBI single. Goals up 12-11 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th here at Cardines, 12-11. Goals on top of the Waves. A lot of scoring going on in this game between last Monday and this Monday. A lot of strikeouts. Both teams striking out the side, but both teams hitting the baseball around here at Cardines, even outside the park. Vargas with a home run, Scott Holzwasser with a home run. We've seen Ian Osberg, who's at the plate now for Ocean State, hitting a 2-run home run his last time up.
Yeah, his first home run of the year. Really not a home run guy.
Hasn't been the best day to be a pitcher here at the park. Of course, pitching in the heat and having some humidity. The ball's been traveling a little bit as this first offering to Osberg. Fastball in there for strike one. Of course, with pitcher on the move in the major leagues.
Yeah, Marcus Stroman to the Mets.
And that broke yesterday, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was during the All-Star game.
During the All-Star game, you and I were together in the booth up there, and we saw it, and we were a little bit puzzled by it as that 0-1 fastball misses up 1-1.
It really just doesn't make sense for the Mets here. Not quite in a playoff spot. You didn't trade Noah Syndergaard in that deal.
I mean, then again, they are the Mets and nothing makes sense
That's
for them.
true.
It's Rudd looking on, righty on lefty matchup. Fastball swung through and missed from Osberg, up for strike two. And it's interesting because then they said they also want to deal Syndergaard separately.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't understand it.
Now, a lot of people like Syndergaard or like Stroman. Some people don't think he's as good as he's hyped up to be. What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, I don't think he's a good major league pitcher. Don't get me wrong, but the price that I think the Blue Jays were asking for him was not to his level of pitching in the major leagues.
I will say, I think he's fun to watch. I enjoy watching him play. So I like that aspect of it, as this one's going to be chopped over to second. Bellini drops it, picks it up, though, and throws to first in plenty of time for out number one. He's one of my favorite pitchers to enjoy a baseball game when he's on the mound. But I'm with you. I just don't understand the move from an organizational standpoint, because it doesn't seem like the Mets are really buying in on a rebuild or really buying in on going all the way.
Yeah, they're like the Giants in that aspect. They're not quite tanking, but they're not quite complete buyers at the deadline. It's a weird move.
This first pitch misses up and in 1-0. Now, of course, Nick, you are a resident Mets fan this season. What are your thoughts on it?
You know, I like the player. I don't understand the move. It like you guys have said and what everybody else has said, it makes zero sense.
This 1-0 pitch fastball in there, 1-1.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what Brody Van Wagner's thinking up there.
I mean, he's probably not thinking much,
That's
to be
true.
quite honest with you.
Now, of course, they're trying to deal Syndergaard. Do you think that's the right move after dealing for Stroman?
I think
Probably not.
the right move is to deal Syndergaard and not get Stroman.
This 1-1 pitch is going to be blasted into left. Cavalieri going back, and that ball is gone. Solo shot for Will McGillis, and we are tied once again.
This game just does not stop.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, each team is putting up runs. The lead has gone back and forth. Neither team can etch out the other, and now we are tied back at 12. Will McGillis with a solo shot. Carson Rudd, that is the first earned run he's given up on the season, and it's come in late July. We are almost in playoff time. And now that will flip the lineup over for the Ocean State Waves. That will bring up Joe Simone. First offering to Simone. Fastball in there for strike one. Simone on the day 2 for 4, a single, a double, and a walk. 2 runs scored. Now, do you think the Mets should also trade Zach Wheeler? Because that's a possibility.
I think you have to either go tank and rebuild or be complete buyers, one or the other.
That a 1-pitch miss outside, 1-1.
Yeah, I think that's been the problem with that franchise is they've kind of been in the middle. They don't know what they want to do.
Like, look at the Astros. It worked perfectly. It got them a World Series ring.
Worked for the Astros, worked for a number of teams. This 1-1 breaking ball misses up, 2-1. They've also talked about trading Edwin Diaz, who they just acquired. Now, he's struggled a little bit.
Yeah, but I just don't understand it. I think you should have traded Syndergaard in the first place, and you would have got a huge haul for him of prospects, and then you would set yourself up for success in the next 2 or 3 years.
Of course, the deadline for the MLB trade deadline is this 2-1 fastball in there for strike 2 is July 31st, and so a lot of these moves are going to be have to be happening quickly. All these rumors are swirling, but none of them really coming to fruition just yet. Now, a lot of people said that the Stroman deal might be just happening because the Mets are trying to flip Stroman.
Yeah, you saw with
This 2-2 fastball blown by Simone, striking him down while he is swinging on strike 3. Another strikeout for Rudd, third of the day for him.
Yeah, you saw that with the Brewers last year when they acquired Moustakas. Everybody thought they were just going to try and flip him. They ended up keeping him, got him into the NLCS.
Mets now, what, 6 games back?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to take more than just a pitcher to change their fortunes, to be quite honest.
They've had their own share of difficulties as this first pitch breaking ball misses up to Garrett Hodges. There have been a number of trades already for the MLB trade deadline coming up, but none huge ones other than the Stroman deal. It's now this 1-0 offering. Fastball tipped into Hayden Jones' glove, 1-1. And of course, the waiver deadline is gone. So this is a hard deadline. Do you like that move in the majors?
I do. I think it makes teams decide a little earlier, and it makes the regular trade deadline more exciting because you don't have a team like the Giants who might wait and see what happens in August.
This 1-1 pitch misses low, 2-1. And it really forces, as you said, like teams like the Mets, they have to choose whether or not to be buyers or sellers. And if they don't, then they can be in some trouble, and it might hurt them for later years as this 2-1 pitch popped back into the screen, 2-2.
Yeah, it really makes a team decide so early. And like I said, the Giants, they could wait 2 weeks in August, see how they're doing then and how far out they are, but now they have to decide in these next 2 days what they want to do with their entire future of the franchise, especially with Farhan Zaidi, a brand new GM in San Francisco.
We should be in store for an exciting couple of days leading into this deadline. Now Rudd looking on the 2-2 breaking ball, swung on and missed from Hodges. 2 in a row for Rudd to end the top of the 8th. But the Waves do tie it up in the 8th off a solo shot from McGillis. Heading into the home half of the 8th. It's 12-12 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 8th here at Newport. Still 12-12. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for Ocean State.
Yeah, it's going to be Peyton Dietz, the lefty out of Kent State, a rising redshirt sophomore. They're a 1-0 record on the year, an ERA that really isn't reflective of how he's pitched, a 4.41 ERA. He got roughed up against Keene, the small ballpark that it is there in Keene. He gave up 2 home runs, but 18 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts, and opponents are only hitting .227 off the lefty.
Yeah, and we were looking at his numbers this past weekend. Those 26 strikeouts and just that small sample size of innings work just shows how dominant he can be on the mound.
Yeah, he really is. He's 92-94 on the fastball from the left side with a wipeout slider and a pretty good changeup as well.
Yeah, to be 92-94 with that fastball from the left-hand side, just phenomenal. It's this first pitch to Bellini. There is the fastball, miss up for ball 1. But if he's able to find the zone with that, as he has been able to on the season for Ocean State, just goes to show how dominant he can be, as those numbers have been dominant on the season, as this 1-0 pitch misses up 2-0. Of course, he's been one of the go-to guys out of the bullpen for Ocean State.
Yeah, he's been there. Matt Barnes, if you will, kind of your best reliever. You're put him in any situation.
This 2-0 pitch, another one misses up 3-0. This one heating up here in the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 12. Both the teams fighting for this win as this 3-0 pitch drops into the zone, 3-1. This is a big game for both teams. If Newport wins both games of the doubleheader today, they clinch a spot into the playoffs. This one's going to be blasted into right field, giving chase is Hodges. He didn't come away with it, so Bellini is thinking too. The throw down, not in time, and Bellini is aboard with a leadoff double.
Yeah, just a good piece of hitting there by the second baseman from Cincinnati. Got a fastball on the outside half and just went with it and rifled it down the right field line.
just able to slot it into the corner there in between the fence and the warehouse over there. Tough spot for Hodges to slide in and make a play, and this is a great opportunity now for the Gulls. Tied at 12 with a runner in scoring position and no outs, trying to get that go-ahead run. Now at the plate for the Gulls is Ryan Tours, the lefty first baseman from Villanova. First offering fastball in there for strike one. Of course, the Gulls, as we said, if they win both games today, clinch a spot in the playoffs. Ocean State outside looking in, but trying to get as many wins as they can to get that third spot. As that 0-1 pitch misses low and away, 1-1.
Yeah, it's just about winning for the Waves. As they win, they put themselves in a great position to get in.
So they are trying to limit the runs right now and tack on some more in the top of the ninth. They've scored in every single inning since the second inning here today. Is this 1-1 pitch off speed, swung through and missed, 1-2. The Gulls, their bulk of the runs came in the first. They scored 6, then they scored 5 in the 6th inning. Then they scored their other run on the day in the 7th. This 1-2 pitch is going to be popped up on the left side, now to play. Count remains. Talk about the Waves. I mean, just their consistent presence at the plate. Put up a run in every single inning so far except for that second inning.
Yeah, and they've been able to fight back when the Gulls have put up runs to take the lead, and they've tied it every single time.
This 1-2 pitch, fastball in there, catching Tours, looking for strike 3, and there's one away here in the 8th.
Yeah, huge strikeout for Peyton Dietz there.
First strikeout of the day for Dietz on the mound, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter in the Newport lineup, Greg Cavalieri. Cavalieri on the day, 1 for 3 with the walk. Had a double in the 6th and later came around to score, but his last time up struck out swinging to end the 6th. His first offering, pitch misses up for ball 1. Will likely be Carson Rudd out there on the mound once again for the Gulls in the 9th. Lefty on righty matchup for Dietz on the mound. 1-0 pitch drops beneath the zone, breaking ball from Dietz, 2-0.
The Waves take the lead in the 9th. I wouldn't be surprised if C.J. McKinnon got hot in the hurry. The Waves pseudo closer. He has taken that role since he's arrived, and with the departure of Billy Krieger.
Now Dietz looking over at second to Bellini, 2-0 fastball. Just missing outside, 3-0.
Yeah, that looked pretty good there.
It is now 3-0 to Cavalieri. Switch hitting. Outfielder from UL Ryan. That fastball misses up and away for ball 4. So now there's runners on first and second now with one away for Newport.
Yeah, and it brings up the dangerous Scott Holzwasser, who's reached every single time he's come to the plate today.
4 for 4 on the day and also worked a walk. His first time up, he has 3 runs scored. He has 4 RBI. And 2 plate appearances ago, he had a 2-run home run. Lefty on righty matchup for Dietz on the mound. Facing off against the starting second baseman in the All-Star game for the Southern Division All-Stars yesterday. Holzwasser fouled off first pitch along the third base line, 0-1. It's guys like Holzwasser and Dunham on the Wave side who have just led the way for both teams, who have been hitting well as a team, but it's really been those guys who have been the battery ram for both teams to get these 12 runs so far.
Yeah, and they earned that starting spot in the All-Star game because of that.
Now time is called at the plate, but Dietz was in his motion already, so he fired a fastball in there. Holzwasser now back in at the dish. It's an 0-1 count, bottom of the 8th with 1 away. Runners on first and second for Newport, tied at 12. Lefty on righty matchup. Dietz looking over at second, now on the 0-1. Fastball misses up. 1-1.
And for the Gulls, I think getting this run from second not only changes the course of this game, but the course of the day, because you avoid that high-stress situation in the 9th.
This 1-1 pitch check swing from Holzwasser. He's going to ground it over to Vargas at first, who picks it up and steps on first for out number 2, but both runners move up on the play. So with 2 away, there's runners on second and third for the Gulls. That was a huge out for Ocean State getting that out. Now there's 2 away, and you only need to focus on the batter at the plate in Hudson Haskins.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Waves will take that. They are unable to get the double play, but they get at least one out. It brings up Haskin, who did bunt pop out in his last at-bat.
Lefty on righty matchup once again for Dietz. First pitch off speed, misses low for ball 1. Haskin on the day 2 for 4. 2 runs scored. Dietz looking on the 1-0 out of the stretch. Another breaking ball that misses low, 2-0. As you said, Haskin popped up on the bunt. Foul territory to the third baseman. Last time up is now there's going to be a meeting on the mound for Ocean State to talk to Dietz.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move right here to go out and talk to him because he's definitely missed his spots in this inning.
Probably just to talk to him, calm him down a little bit. You do see some action in both bullpens over there for Ocean State and Newport. Mike Townsend up for the Gulls, talking to the bullpen catcher.
It'll be Josh Rovner up for the Waves.
No change yet for either side, and you see the meeting on the mound for Ocean State has commenced. So Dietz still out there with 2 away. 2-0 count to Hudson Haskin at the plate. Now the 2-0 offering, fastball tipped into the glove of Sears, 2-1. He's probably just telling Sears or Dietz on the mound, focus on the hitter, best pitch here.
Yeah. You need to make the best hitter in the Gulls lineup beat you with your best pitch.
Haskin calls time at the plate. So Dietz came with the fastball, challenging Haskin at the plate. Now the 2-1 offering. Haskin's going to line it back into the screen, 2-2, and now after the meeting on the mound, Dietz is back right into the count. And that's exactly where he wants to be. Now he can maybe play with a pitcher.
You kind of do have a waste pitch with the base open, but I'd like to see Dietz go right after Haskin here.
You don't want to get too cheeky on the mound against Haskin. You still do want to attack him because you have been not the best on the mound with your command this inning. Now the 2-2 offering. Haskin's going to drive into right. Hodges over to his left, back towards the wall. And he's there for out number 3. So no runs crossed for the Gulls in the 8th as they leave 2 stranded heading into the 9th. It is still 12-12 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It's the top of the 9th here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, and there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls. It's the righty out of UCLA, Mike Townsend, out there for Newport. He'll be making his 10th appearance on the mound for the Gulls. He has a 2.51 ERA through 14 and a thirds innings pitched. He's given up just 5 runs for them earned off of 14 hits and 4 walks. He has 19 strikeouts in those 14 and 1/3 innings pitched.
I do have to say I love Townsend's walk-in song.
Yeah, Ring of Fire coming in, and it's just classic.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that definitely messes with you as an opponent, too.
He will come in to relieve Carson Rudd, who went 1 2/3 innings pitched. Gave up just 1 run, his only earned run of the season. The solo shot from Will McGillis was the only hit he gave up. Also walked a batter and had 4 strikeouts in the 5 outs he had on the mound. First batter Townsend will face off against is Xavier Vargas, who is 3 for 4 on the day. He's reached base safely 4 times. Pair of singles, a walk, and a home run his last time up. First offering, fastball misses up and away for ball 1. Top of the 9th, but you have the heart of the order due up for Ocean State. This is exactly what you want in this situation for the Waves.
Yeah, he couldn't. Xavier Vargas, who homered in his last at bat, couldn't ask for much more if you're the Waves.
This 1-0 slider swung through and missed, 1-1, and that's what you come to expect out of Townsend on the mound. Nick, you familiar with it? That's his patented slider.
That's his actually his nickname as well. Although the nickname derives from two different reasons. One, because he was making sliders one day.
And then because of that slider that he throws, that 1-1 pitch over the heart of the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, you'd think it'd just be because he throws a slider so many times. But I asked a few of his teammates why they call him sliders. Actually, I asked him why they called him sliders. And he told me it's because he was making sliders one day for the team. And
So that slider is going to be hit into center field. Haskin over to his right, and he's there for out number 1.
yeah, I guess the nickname stuck.
I mean, it's only fitting that the man that Greg Zackerson said has the best slider in the nation was making sliders for the rest of the team.
At least he wasn't serving them up to the other team.
Right. And now with 1 away here in the 9th, still tied at 12. That will bring up Nick Elson.
Nicholas Elson.
Elson came in to pinch run for Elijah Dunham, who was having a great day at the plate. Had 4 doubles in his 5 plate appearances. Did reach base in all 5 plate appearances, but pulled up with a groin injury as he rounded first base on his way to second. So Elson pinch ran for him. That first pitch to Elson is going to be fouled out of play along the right field side, 0-1. So this is Elson's first plate appearance. Elson's hitting 171 on the season for Ocean State as this 0-1 pitch fastball misses low, 1-1. Townsend out of the stretch, working from the first base side of the rubber. 1-1 pitch misses low and away, 2-1. For the goals, if you're Townsend, you're looking to work a quick inning and then get to your heart of the order. It'll be Hamilton, Malloy, and Thomas due up as you try to get that walk-off win here today.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to extend this game into extra innings, that's for sure, with another 9-inning game coming up after this one.
So this pitch is going to be popped up behind the plate, 1-2. Yeah, you're looking to save as many arms as you can. You want to like to extend Townsend as into extra innings. You'd like to save him potentially with a quick inning here, maybe for maybe not later tonight, but at least a quick game coming up tomorrow or on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you end up going a little bit more than expected in extra innings, you start to really dip into a dangerous place where you might have to put in some starters.
It's that 2-2 pitch. Slider drops beneath the zone. Count now full to Elson. And the same goes for Ocean State. I mean, you don't want to extend your pitchers any farther than you have to.
No, you really don't. Again, it was huge getting 4 2/3 out of 4 1/3 rather out of Corey Sawyer today.
Now Townsend on the 3-2, looking on the payoff pitch. Going to be popped up along the right side of the infield. Tour's calling for it, and he's there for out number 2. That's a big out there for the goals now with that easy pop up to the right side of the infield. 2 away, and that will bring up Casey Dana at the plate for Ocean State. Dana on the day 0 for 5. Did have a RBI ground out in the 4th, but he does not have a plate appearance where he has reached base safely.
Yeah, it's safe to say the Gulls have Casey Dana's number today.
Now this first offering slider breaking out on the other side of Dana's bat on the outer half, 0-1.
Now that slider is just filthy.
A lot of bite to it.
Yeah, I think if you're Townsend, you got to keep throwing that to Dan. He'll chase every time.
Started over the heart of the plate and then broke out all the way up towards the left-handed batter's box. Now this 0-1 pitch, another slider. This one misses low and away, 1-1. Last time up for Dana, he did strike out looking. That was against Carson Rudd. That was the first batter Rudd faced on the night. As now Townsend on the 1-1. Fastball going to be chopped over to second. Bellini with it. Throws the first in time for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for Ocean State in the 9th. Heading into the bottom of the 9th. Still 12-12 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 9th, tied at 12 as the Gulls are looking for a walk-off here at Cardines. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for Ocean State trying to do just the opposite.
Yeah, it'll be the righty, the Panther from Adelphi University, a New York native as well. He doesn't have a record on the year, a 6.75 ERA. He's only thrown an inning and a third. He walked 3 and didn't strike out a batter, but on the bright side, opponents are only hitting 200 off of him.
So Rovner on the mound for the Waves. He will be facing off against Chris Hamilton, Justin Henry Malloy, and Isaiah Thomas. Hamilton on the day was 2 for 4 so far. 3-run home run in the first. Was also hit by a pitch in the 6th where he later came around to score. His last time up, though, an RBI single in the 7th.
So I think there's conversation on whether Rovner's going to be allowed to pitch because he wasn't on the original lineup card. He had been added after this game to the Waves roster.
Well, if that is the case, then he is not allowed to pitch.
Yeah.
And if he does throw a pitch, then the Waves technically would have to forfeit this game.
With an illegal substitution, I know the Red Sox and Rays just had this question with the illegal substitution. I believe, should the game be put under protest and an illegal substitution deemed to have been used, it picks up from this point.
I was told by the coaches, at least, that the Waves would have to be forfeit the game, but that may not be true information. So who knows? This is interesting, though, because obviously Josh Rovner was not on the original roster when this game played last Monday, and so that is, by the rules, who you have to have out there, and the umpires are talking about it right now with the Ocean State coach.
Yeah, I mean, they still have plenty of arms in the bullpen. They have Jack Gibson, C.J. McKinnon, Kyle O'Neill, Nick Narduli was available in this game, but he has since departed the team. Seamus Brazil, I doubt he's available. He pitched 6th inning against Winnipesaukee. He said he was throwing 72 in the 6th inning, so I doubt he's available today.
So this is interesting. We're waiting for a ruling. Kevin Winterode over there now, the head coach of the Newport Gulls. And now we're going to see the Ocean State coach go over and talk to Rovner. And it looks like his day is done without even throwing a pitch.
Good work by him.
Yeah.
Didn't give up a run. What more could you ask for?
Well, it's going to be C.J. McKinnon now, as we expected.
So C.J. McKinnon will be on the mound for the Waves. And we will move
18.
on in this game.
Yep.
As the umpires are still conferring along the first base line. As you can see on your screen if you're watching with us here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Yeah, this is definitely a weird rule. One of those rules that you kind of have to,
keep an eye on.
I remember hearing back as the Keene Swamp Bats arrived, hearing in an NBA game there was a player traded mid-season. A game that he had played in against the team that he was traded to was under protest. They had to replay the game, and then that player who was traded to the other team, I forget the player's name and the teams involved, but had to go back and play in the game for his previous team.
Oh, wow.
That's
How
just
poetic
Yeah.
that is. Imagine if he would have hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
That would have been an awkward trip to the other side of the locker room. So will be C.J. McKinnon out there for the Waves. Joshua Rovner will not get an appearance on the mound for the Waves here at Cardines.
Yeah, McKinnon for the Waves really has been absolutely dominant. 2.89 ERA, no record, 7 games, all out of the Waves bullpen. 2 saves, 9 and a third innings, 14 strikeouts in that 9 and a third. 8 walks, so you'd like to see him get that number down, but his opponents are hitting a whopping 69 off of him.
So a dominant reliever coming in for the Waves. Now, I don't know the pitching schedule for him, if this was a time that maybe...
Yeah, he's a reliever. He can pretty much go whenever. He's had 2 days off now.
2 days off. And so maybe they wanted to give him a little bit more rest, but nonetheless, relievers a lot of times do come in on short rest at times, and so he should be good to go. And with how dominant he's been on the season, this might bode well for Ocean State. They are still giving him some warm-up pitches. Of course, this is mandatory because if you don't give him warm-up pitches, then you're risking injury.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was throwing already in the Waves bullpen, but still want to give him a little bit more just to get loose and not injure him.
With the umpires, the meeting is over along the first base side, and they are getting back towards their normal positions. At least closer to the normal positions, not back in them yet. Again, it is bottom of the ninth here at Cardines. The Josh Rovner debacle is over. It is C.J. McKinnon on the mound, tied at 12 here in the bottom of the ninth. The Gulls looking for a walk-off to get their 24th win of the season. Now, this game was last Monday's game, and it was suspended. The Gulls came into that one 19-15 on the season. The Ocean State Waves were 14-19. And this game has a lot of implications for both teams. If the Gulls win both of their games today, they will be in the playoffs no matter what. But Ocean State needs to win this game and win a couple more games as this week goes on to get into the playoffs. They're etching for that third spot. And Nick, if you want to take a look, we can look around the standings tonight. I know, and we could take a look around the other games around the league. I know there is a doubleheader going along for the Mystic Schooners and Danbury Westerners.
Yeah, so that doubleheader is not actually starting until 5, so we are the only game going right now in the NECBL. But as for the Southern Division standings, Marcus Vineyard in first, Newport in second, 2 games behind. The Mystic Schooners 4.5 games out in third, Danbury 6.5 out in fourth, Ocean State 7.5 out towards second and last, and New Bedford in last place, 13.5 games out of first place.
First pitch to Chris Hamilton from McKinnon, misses inside, fastball low and in for ball 1. Now, of course, if you stick with us here on the NECBL Broadcast Network for the second game that the Gulls play today, we'll have our eyes on those games around the league as Hamilton blasts this one into right, going back as Vargas Hodges over to his left towards the wall, but he's there for out number 1. We'll have our eyes on those games because those will affect the standings quite a bit for the Gulls on whether or not they are in the playoffs this early, whether or not we know they clinched the playoffs this early. There's one away here in the bottom of the ninth, still tied at 12 as Justin Henry Malloy settles in. Righty on righty matchup for him. First pitch fastball in there for strike 1.
And if you're the Waves, you have to be extremely careful. All 3 batters could leave the yard with just one swing of the bat.
Malloy was in the home run derby yesterday. So 1 fastball catches the outer half, 0-2.
Yeah, McKinnon throws very hard. He actually came into Holy Cross as an infielder, thought he'd get some innings here and there, but he's absolutely blossomed as a pitcher.
McKinnon now on the 0-2, comes in and hits Malloy on the elbow guard. That will put a runner aboard first for the Gulls with 1 away, and that's a tough goal for McKinnon. You get the pop out from Hamilton, you're up 0-2 in the count, and then 1 gets away from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not what you want to do in an 0-2 count. You try to snap off that slider, and it just doesn't snap, and now you have the winning run on base.
Winning run on base for the Gulls, and that will bring up Isaiah Thomas with 1 away. Righty on righty matchup for him on the mound. Thomas came in to hit for Vosick in the 6th, and is 0-2 with a pair of strikeouts. His first offering fastball just misses outside, 1-0. Nice pitch there from McKinnon. When he has thrown that fastball, it has been electric and has found the zone.
Yeah, he's baffled that wasn't a strike.
Just missed outside, and you saw Sears trying to frame it. Good defensive catcher for the Waves. Now the 1-0 offering. Fastball going to be chopped foul behind the plate. 1-1. If you're the Gulls, if you're Thomas at the plate, just trying to hit something hard, trying to move Malloy along. 12-12 your score here in the bottom of the ninth. Last time the Gulls had a walk-off, it was against Vermont. Had the bases loaded, throw to home, popped out of the catcher's glove as this 1-1 slider misses up. 2-1. Vermont game was about 2 weeks ago here at Guardians.
That was 2 weeks ago? It seems like it was just yesterday. Wow.
Maybe a week and a half.
Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Now McKinnon looking on the 2-1. Another fastball. This one missing low and away. Gets away from Sears, but Malloy conservative on the base pass, and he goes back to first. Count now 3-1 to Thomas. And you have to be careful if you're McKinnon on the mound.
Yeah, you really do. Like I said, everybody can leave the yard and end this ball game, but if I'm McKinnon, I'm looking to work low and induce a ground ball and get you out of this inning and into the top of the 10th.
On the 3-1, another fastball. This one missing low for ball 4. And that walk will put runners on first and second now for Hayden Jones. And Sears is going out to talk to his pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, and this has really been McKinnon's heel, Achilles heel. He has 8 walks now, 9 and 9 in the third inning, or 9 and 2/3 now. So really, he needs to work in getting those walks down, and that's going to come as he develops as a pitcher.
So Hayden Jones due up at the plate for the Gulls. Last time up for him, he struck out swinging. But he has been hitting well recently for the Gulls, including today. He had that sharp line drive up the middle. Kennett looking on. First offering, he's going to hit into left. Going back, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Malloy is heading around third, and he's going to come around to score easily. And the Gulls are going to win 13-12 on a Hayden Jones walk-off. So the Gulls pick up their 24th win of the season as the Ocean State Waves drop to 17-22 in a 25-run game. Don't go anywhere. Post-game show coming up next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So it's a walk-off win for the Gulls against their in-state rivals, the Ocean State Waves, as they win 13-12. Hayden Jones with the walk-off to win it for Newport with a long fly ball down the left field line. Nick Elson gave chase, but he couldn't come away with it. So the Gulls get a one-run win over the Waves to cap off the Pell Bridge Series here in 2019. And it was a hectic one. Tim Joyce, Stephen Huff alongside the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Tim Joyce, and the field reporter of the Newport Gulls, Nick Bello. The Waves, this started last Monday. The game was suspended. The Waves scored 3 runs in the first inning. The Gulls scored 6 after that, batted around the lineup in the first. The Waves came back, scored 4 runs, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, to take a 7-6 lead into the fifth. That's when the game was suspended. That's when the storm came in. It was called off. Then we came back. That got us to today. Then in the 5th inning, the Waves kept everything going. They scored a run there, 2 in the 6th. The Gulls answered back with 5 in the 6th inning. They batted around the lineup again, including a 2-run shot from Scott Holzwasser, his 4th of the year. Waves continued their trend at the plate. Another run in the 7th. Gulls answered back with a run in the 7th as well. Waves tied it up with another run in the 8th. Bottom of the 9th, and Hayden Jones delivered that walk-off shot down the left field line. It was a crazy game. Every team was scoring every inning. The Waves scored every single inning except for the 2nd and 9th. 25 runs total. It was a great game to be here for.
Yeah, I mean, for the Waves, you left 11 runs on base. You actually out-hit the Gulls 17-15, and I mean, for the Waves, you just need to get those runners in. You left 11 men on. If you get those in, you win pretty handedly.
For the Waves, you got to look at some bright spots. Xavier Vargas had a great game between the 2 days that we played this. Elijah Dunham as well.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Dunham had 4 for 5 with 4 doubles. Xavier Vargas, again, another great game. He reached base 4 times, rather. So the offense was a positive for the Wave. The pitching just needed to come through.
For the Gulls, Chris Hamilton, dating back to last Monday, had a 3-run home run. Here today, had an RBI single. Then you also had the walk-off hit from Hayden Jones and the Scott Holzwasser 2-run home run. But the walk-off hit from Hayden Jones won it for the Gulls. They win 13-12 I'm going to let Tim Joyce off the hook, though. I know it's been a long one, a long ride yesterday from Vermont. So thank you, as always. It's been a pleasure working with you this season.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll see you sometime in the playoffs. Not looking too bright now for the Waves, but, you know, it could happen.
A couple of games left to win for the Waves, and we'll hopefully see you there.
Definitely.
All right, for Tim Joyce, I'm Stephen Huff. I'm going to send it on over to Nick Bello. Nick, post-game show is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Steven. The Gulls walk off after a Hayden Jones single sends in a run for the Gulls to win over a two-day game here that was rained out last week and was continued today. 13-12 win here for the Gulls, as they will now play Keene in just a few hours from now. So I'm going to take you around the standings right now. In the Northern Division, the North Adams Steeplecats are in first place with a 24-15 record. Followed by them is the Upper Valley Nighthawks, 1 game behind. Keene Swamp-Bats, 1.5 games out of first place. The Vermont Mountaineers, 3 games back. Valley Blue Sox, 20-18, 3.5 games out of first place. Sanford Mariners, 15-25, 9.5 games out. And Winnipesaukee rounding out the Southern Division, 12 games out of first place and 11-26 on the season. In the Southern Division, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks are 25-14 in first place. The Newport Gulls are now 24-16, about 1 game back of the Sharks out of first place. With a win today against Keene, the Gulls can clinch a playoff spot. In fact, the Mystic Schooners 20-18, 4.5 games out of first place. The Danbury Westerners 18-20, 6.5 games out. The Ocean State Waves 7.5 games out, and the New Bedford Bay Sox rounding out the Southern Division, 13.5 games out of first place. Once again, the Gulls winning 13-12 off of a Hayden Jones single that scored Justin Henry Molloy from second for the Gulls' 3rd walk-off of the season here at Carradines Field. It was a good one throughout the whole game. A lot of back-and-forth action. I mean, 13 runs scored for the Gulls, 12 runs scored for the Ocean State Waves. That just goes to show how much this team can produce when they really need to. A lot of good pitching out of the bullpen too from Sansone, Rudd, and Townsend. Sansone obviously had to continue from what he started last week, and did not do too bad today. Rudd and Townsend, though, really came in to save this game. We're going to send it down to Stephen Huff, who has Hayden Jones, who is our player of the game. Stephen, take it away.
I'm with today's player of the game, Hayden Jones. You had a couple of hits, including the walk-off. How you feeling?
Feels really good to be back into it and everything, so I can't complain about that, that's for sure.
Of course, you had that big shot down the line to win it. What were you seeing at the plate? Tell us about your approach.
I just thought, see fastball, do the job, get the guy over. There was, I think, 1 or 2 outs, or 1 out. And, biggest thing I've been taught is get the guy over, get the guy behind me to get him in there. But I knew fastball was coming and thought take it to the other side. Knew he had a little 2-seam action, so just thought about taking it to left field.
Is that your first walk-off?
Not my first one, no. But first one here, yeah.
First one here, but it's part of the business for it. I mean, you're good at it, it seems.
Yeah, it's nice to go that opposite way again. I was pulling a lot and getting on top of the ball, so be able to get underneath the ball and get a true hit right there. It felt really good.
All right, well, nice work out there. I mean, you deserve it. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Stephen. Once again, Hayden Jones with a walk-off single, 13-12 win for the Gulls here as they gain a little bit more on a playoff spot here with a win against Keene. As I said before, the Gulls could be for sure in the playoffs and clinch tonight. It's a very important win for the Gulls. I mean, as I mentioned, you clinch that playoff spot tonight with a win. And, I mean, this just does wonders for your team to get a win over a rival and someone who's in your division. Even though the Ocean State Waves have pushed themselves further out of the question here with this loss. But I think it's definitely a very great win for the Gulls The best win of the season, but a good win for the Gulls as we're going to send down Stephen Huff, who will close things out for this one. So, Stephen, take it away.
So Hayden Jones wins it over the Ocean State Waves with the walk-off, and the Gulls are back in action tonight against the Keene Swamp Bats. For today, I'd like to thank our executive producer and director, Tom Lima, producer Shannon Carlson, associate producer Rob Sanchez, audio technician Arthur Smith, on-site engineer Mike Abbott, statistician Michael Garment, field reporter Nick Bello, and the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Tim Joyce. I'm Stephen Huff saying goodnight from the city by the sea.